Today we're going to be working on the C-dory door. So it looks like from about this mid hinge down, it's warped out. It's warped out a good inch. And as far as damage on this whole boat, I could tell this hinge was sprung. So I have to epoxy those full, re-drill them. But I'm guessing the reason that happened was the stress from the warpage. So I'm going to take this off and try to straighten it. If it was metal, I'd say piece of cake because I'm more of a metal guy. My trade was an iron worker, so I kind of understand how the steel move. I've never worked with this stuff in heat, but we're going to give it a shot. That's the plan. You have the door off, and not only is it warped, and you could see exactly coming off of that about where the latch is, but it's also cupped, if you can see that. And it's heavy. I'm guessing this door is at least 50 pounds. But it also has a nice cup on it there as well. So I'm going to start applying heat down the middle and about where the hinge is at around here. It's almost like dealing with the giant cutting board. And I have clamps ready. I'm going to start clamping it as need be. I'm just going to see how it reacts. See if I can get it to move. I screwed a 2x4 block there to get the door up at an angle so I can use the weight of the door to help see if it moves, to help push it down. You can see that one piece. I don't know if that how easy it is. I don't know if that's just a short span to get down. And then here again, here's the warp that way. I think this is going to take a while to get this heat going through this thing. So I've been working on this for about 10 minutes since I set you guys down, and I'm working on this area right here to see if I can relieve this. And that's hot enough where I can't hold my hand. But just like I was afraid of, it's cool as can be down here. So this is going to take a while. Get my clamps ready and keep working at it. Okay, I'm probably 25-30 minutes into this. I picked this up and I heated the back side of this as well. Still warm, pretty dang warm, but it's moving. That's looking promising. The reveal is about the same. So yeah, and then as I was doing that, I remembered I looked over to my shelf, and lo and behold, I have pieces of that same material, sorry about that are on my bumpers on my Starcraft. So I'm going to heat up a corner of this really hot and see what it does after I finish this. I don't want this to cool down too much. It will melt. I set my heat gun down there and it melted that little piece. So if it'll melt, it'll move. Okay, I've got it pretty hot. It's hot to the super hot to the touch on the backside still, so it held its heat. I very lightly clamped it, so we'll let it cool down a little bit there. And in the meantime, see if I can set you up. We'll see what it takes to melt one of these corners on this other deal. There it goes, it's rolling around. See it? And it's soft. So it takes some heat. I'm going to start working on the other part of the door, so I need to flip this. I'll get a straight edge, something that I can pull down. So let's unclamp these. You can see I barely had any pressure on it. Looky there. We definitely moved it. Be happy with pretty close to that if I can get the rest of the door that way. Keep working it. Okay, so I heated the top, not so hot, but I heated that bottom. That's the way I wanted to go, and look at that. Set it down on there, and we're past. Real close. I don't know if that does anything. Look at that. So I'm probably going to heat it some more and clamp it flat on the table. Get rid of my 2x4 here. Okay, just to show you what happens. We had it nice and flat a second ago. So I rolled it on its back and I heated that back side, trying to get it within, you know, 1/16 of an inch. I don't know why. So that tells you how this stuff moves when you heat it. You have to move it on the opposite face to get it to move to where you want it. So we're going to leave it there to cool. So what happens is it comes to the heat. That's how this stuff moves. Comes to the heat. So our warp right there kicked this way and we wanted it to come back that way. So we put the heat on this side. That's what we got. The cup's pretty much out of it. I think what I'm going to do now is get some angle iron. Oh, by the way, this stuff holds heat. Once you get it hot, it holds heat. But I think I'm going to get some little 1/2 or 3/8 by 3/8 aluminum angle iron and put some stiffeners on the back of this, and then even use those for racks or something. But I think that'll really help this. Anyhow. So I have it fairly warm. I have it where I want it. I went ahead and clamped it. You can see it sitting flat on that board under there. Got some weight on it so it cools. Hopefully it cools where we want it. It stays where we want it. I'm guessing that's probably why the newer boats, I think they have a full window. It's probably because they've had an issue with this stuff moving so much. Anyhow, we'll see what we end up with. Might take a little more work, but it definitely moved a little. Well, there we have it. I got it over. I don't have the bottom hinge on. Like I said, I got to epoxy that, so it'll sit a little bit higher, but got over, well over half of it. But my opinion is it's probably going to happen again, and I think C-Dory's going to get a custom-made door by me. Anyhow, that was a couple hours effort, 2.5 hours. I can probably stay on it a little bit longer and get it 100%. Now that I know what it takes, just takes a lot of heating and put a lot of weight on it and control, try to get it to cool off right. And before I couldn't get it to latch without really having to push on it really hard. So there it is. I mean, it was worth the effort. So the initial warp was from this hinge all the way down. It started from here and came out. So it's really good except for about the last 6 inches. So I'm going to keep working on that and try to get it down, because if not, fixing that hinge will just, it'll be a stress point. It'll end up popping again. So again, we want the warp to come back. This is the inside of the door. So I'm heating the inside of this to pull it my way. Then I'm going to turn it over and put a lot of weight on it and heat the other side too to weaken that a little bit. So I'm using the weight of the door. I have the door at an angle. So I'd clamp this down, pulled it, got it super hot. Got it is super hot. In fact, it's a hair warm. It's been cooling for a good 30 minutes. But as you can see, the door slopes down. I use the weight of the door to try to convince the warpage to go the other way and stay. So we're gonna unhook them. And it looks fairly decent. So to close up the door project, we are reveals perfect. It's all flushed. I ended up through drilling these and through bolting them. Latch is nice. So instead of patching, I ended up on the jamb of the door. This stuff's really thick. It's like 1.25 inches thick. So I went ahead and through bolted it. That way there's no issues of it pulling out again. You can see a little bit of the movement of what I went through, but it works great now. Hopefully that takes care of it. I don't know if it'll move again or not. I hope not, but it took a total of about 4 hours worth of work, at least 4 to 5 hours probably, and I'm happy with it.